him as 2 for Tycon.
Yeah.
Right, what a way to step up. We were questioning him.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. It's time for a landmark game here. It's going to be a big fight field coming into game number 6 of our grand final here for PUBG at the Esports World Cup.
All right, here we go. One more left on the day, and we have been seeing a progression of that leaderboard. Teams rising to the top because the green always rise.
That's right, it does. I mean, what a wild couple of circles we've had. Some fun games here as we get ready for our last game of the day, but 17 there, able to barely stand tall against Rock, who are just playing phenomenal right now. It's hard to understate how impressive they were in that last game.
And I also want to give sure, Rock just so good on the macro in that game, but 17 holding it together, they were in a bad spot. And 7-7 shifting over into that western front, holding down that angle, staying alive for so long, really bought his team the angles that they needed to assault that later stage and get the win there. So that was a very beautiful play in and of itself.
It was. It's so well thought out by them. The way they're playing with confidence, carrying over from the group stage. This is so exciting to see a team from South America rise up like they are. You can't understate that enough, how important it is for a team from that region to really get it going here as we get ready to see where our plane path is going to go this time around. Miramar on the cards for the last game of the day, and it is going to start over El Pozo, head down towards Impala, so kind of a different plane path in a way. The beginning of it starts kind of just a little bit further north and ends a little bit further south, so similar scenes for some of these teams, hoping that maybe Petrichor Road can avoid losing a player early this time. But, you know, some of these other teams like 17 who make a big jump are going to be looking to try to continue that. Meanwhile, the teams like the Freaks need to get it going a bit. They are struggling today.
Mid-pack teams, lower section teams, this is your momentum game. You've got to start setting some paces for yourselves. You could be a bit riskier to see what you can get away with. If you keep trying to rest into safety time and time again, you're just going to see that leaderboard slowly start slipping away from you. And can you be the core component to fight your way into being at the top of the leaderboard at the end of day number 1? So Circle going to go very far to the east.
Maybe a truck stop finish on the cards here.
I like it.
I know, me too. I love to drop truck stop and fight it out there.
No Impala.
Yeah, we just don't want to see Southwestern.
All right, chat. I need your energy right now. We're going to let Goku Spirit Bomb this. No Impala. We want to get away from that. We've seen it a couple times as we're going to see a little bit of airtime coming up.
I don't know if you want to Goku Spirit Bomb it. It only worked like one time.
Oh, you're right.
Got to think about that, Matt. Before you try to channel the Spirit Bomb.
Yeah. Everybody wasted their energy, stupid Goku.
Yeah, it's like it did work against Vegeta. It didn't work against Frieza. It did work against Boo, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, 1 out of 3 isn't necessarily the best numbers for it. Well, I mean, he also did use it in Super Bowl. We won't talk about that. Okay, I know Poro somewhere is cringing at the top of his.
We can only hope.
It's like,
good.
Too much.
Cringe
anime.
away.
Too much anime. We need more sports references in this one. But with the way that the circle lays, the Expendables, Toyo going to have to be a big rotate. Rock also going to have a big one. There is, yes, pathing in the circle, but with the fields being pretty much the entirety of the southern section combined in with water, you have to assume that most of the teams are just going to be aiming for that northern section of the circle because it's the only thing that's really good to play.
For sure. Coming in from the south, I mean, it's going to be a little bit tricky potentially, depending on what Petrichor Road wants to do, how quick Navi is to try to get a little bit further north. I will say for Gen.G here, maybe an opportunity to get some points back after a strong start to the day. They have done not much in the latter half. So they shifted over to Puerto Pariso instead of going towards Valle del Mar for their drop because of the plane path, and they actually are going to have a little bit easier access to the circle this go around. Look into them to try to get something going again, see if they can replicate some of that success they had earlier. But again, they need to take good team fights. That's kind of my concern with them, and like the desk was talking about, that's the concern for some of these teams. A couple of the big Korean teams, you know, DNF on the bottom of the leaderboard right now. 13 points across 5 games is well under their standards.
How does it make you feel to know that GSW is 3rd while Freaks are last?
Not great.
I don't think.
Well, only because I have bias for my region, but I'm actually happy for GSW.
CC and AZ have been really playing.
They're
really
great,
playing. It's only whenever we see them go down that it's going to be GSW that plays a bit more passive. And I don't blame them. Those guys have been fragging out, but that's been coming at a cost of losing them a bit earlier, like in the later stages of the mid game. So that's made them have to kind of rest back and do damage control. But whenever we see them up and active in the early sections of the game, or if they can make it in the later stages, that's where we really see game start win just excel.
Well, I mean, it's cool to see in a way for like AZ and CC, who have been players who have been journeymen in their region.
Yeah.
Right? Like they've gone through a bunch of different teams. I mean, just looking at AZ, you know, he's been on New Appy, he's been on Tai Lu, he's been on Petrichor Road. So he's been on CCG, a bunch of teams that are.
He's the Purdy Curdy.
Kind of, yeah. He's been bouncing around, you know, but. You know, he gets on teams and they tend to generally be somewhat successful.
Yeah.
So that's something in and of itself. I'm quite happy to see that because, you know, some of these players that are good but maybe just don't find the right home, you know, have kind of these raps about, oh, maybe they're not that great. And then, you know, same with CC on Tiamba for the longest time. I'm pretty sure he was on the team that won that PCS way back in the day. And then he was on New Happy for a bit after they made some shuffles.
I mean, big game for 17 as well. They needed that. Now in the hunt, assaulting the top of the leaderboard, sitting at 31 points with some breathing room, but not much away from T1. Twisted, going to be kind of roaming through right now, presently holding down that second place. This is a squad that we know can just really wreck teams, and really, if we see them perform here, it's going to have such a big impact on the club championship.
Precisely. They need this win. If they want to give themselves a chance to get that club championship, or at least do really well here, it's going to be very important for Twisted Minds. It's a wide wrap here for the Falcons. CTG still taking their time outside of Cruz de Valle. I don't suspect that anything's going to come from that unless Falcons don't get the read that CTG is where they are. CTG sometimes takes a long time to make maneuvers into the circle. We've seen this before where Falcons have run into them.
Yeah, this is kind of peculiar. Falcons, these rotations early just keep causing them some trouble.
Oh, they see it. They see it.
Also wanted to call out, we do have AGAL that's playing around truck stuff right now. They're kind of believing it'll go that direction. AGAL playing center circle plans? That's a different facing that we've seen from them.
That is true. That is true.
Edge team firefighters going, nah, let's go ahead and go center, get control over it, get ourselves some points maybe in this last game. Find kills in the later stages.
Looks a bit like their Tego game, where they set up in kind of a wide formation on, it was somewhat center earlier on that hill where a bunch of teams just kind of cannibalized each other. I'm a little bit worried for the Falcons because they had to stop up and watch CTG rotate. That's going to slow them down. That's going to allow Toyo to get ahead of them. T5 as well, potentially going to be in a slightly better position. So the Falcons going to have to make some decisions here on how they want to approach this game. And you know, if they're lucky, maybe the circle does hard shift north a couple times and they can find themselves in decent positions. Rock is a team that I have faith in to make these late rotations and make it work somehow, some way, because they're so methodical with how they identify open space.
Their macro on this event has been just revolutionary for them. They've always been a very good team on finding access to the circle.
Yes.
But they would often play it so passive once they got there. Now we're finding them going, okay, no, we're going to play it a bit slower. We know where the circle is going to go, so we know where the teams are going to go. That's the next evolution that we really wanted to see out of them. And now they're playing around that. They're exploiting, finding kills, gatekeeping out. And it's like an evolution. It's just opening door upon door for them.
There's a fight going on between Toyo and the Falcons. They ran into each other on that rotation. Something I was kind of worried about there for the Falcons. As, yes, Ranger X, though, also has an opportunity here to do some damage.
He wants it. That's one. Looks back in. Can he get a second? Does manage to get it. Take some damage as well. Are we going to see any follow-ups? Fluky running up the top of the hill. Rosted coming in the lower section of it, trying to deny any escape. Yes, Ranger is down. Looks like he could get flushed out. Going for peaks, and Rosted Jr. did get spotted and is going to get flushed.
Oh, that's a bit painful there for T5. This looked like maybe they were going to take a pretty clean fight. I mean, you got Potampong on a wide off angle, who's putting some shots into the back of CTG. Fluky here trying to get the info relayed over. Smokes are going to come down for CTG, and they're going to try to make their escape.
Does he have the timings for it? He's got the high ground, looks in, gets some damage, but he's afraid of the drive-by, runs out of ammo as well, so change the game. has to leave one behind and heads to the hills.
That was dangerous stuff for CTG there for a moment. The fact that they even get one out of that, not too bad. Or even two. Ranger X looks like he went down as well. So Theraton 5, I thought, had a great trap sprung, especially get those first two kills.
And they had the back position behind it, but I guess Rosted just went a bit too far, gave them cover to work around, and allowed them to push that hillside. Things can get a bit messy in these kind of early game skirmishes because it's really hard to know exactly where you need to be pushing in from. Circle pretty much calm right now everywhere else. We've got Toyo as well as Rock, the teams that are needing to come in. Speaking of Rocks, that's a big one.
It is. Petrichor Road opted to go for the northern side of Impala, looking to give themselves some pivot points and maybe play a little gatekeep on the teams that are going to be coming out of the south.
I know James is back there losing his mind.
I hope so.
It's a mythical bird. I know, James, but there's so many rock puns, man.
I know.
How can we not?
Yeah. No. Anything you can do to tilt James is okay in my book.
If you didn't know, that's why there is a bird in their logo, guys, is because it's based after. That's why there's no K at the end of it. Rock is the mythical bird of giant proportions. So, Circle quiet. Where are we going to go?
Oh, my God.
Ooh, hard shift up to the northeast. Okay, we were wanting a bit more into truck stop, but it says, nah, let's go more for...
Wow. So over to the east here, this is kind of weird because there's a big mountain on the western side of the circle. There's obviously Al Azahar and the mountain around it. Oh, Correxy. Oh, my God.
Chewy. Never mind. Does stop that one in the trash. No, this is my house. You can't have it.
He's got to be careful, though. There are more players from VP there, so he couldn't confirm that flush in time. As Petrichor Road starting to fall apart, Hype shows up, gets two.
Everything is coming apart over here. There is just a ton of teams right in the thick of this. Virtus.pro trying to see if they can get some kills of their own. T1 all up on top of it. Everybody get involved in the dust-up. There is nowhere to go inside the circle, so it's time to get bloodthirsty. Down in the death funnel, everybody's caught up, going for the stop-off. Petrichor Road stopped in their tracks. There are just bodies littering the hillside.
Everybody losing players there. Na'Vi as well running into Gen.G, and they're going to trade kills each, but Virtus.pro looking for whatever's going on, if there's any players still there, and Heather had tucked in, gets a little bit of damage, and Lucarux suffering down to low health. Raining as well, still in the fight.
I mean, kudos. We can see that VP navigated that very, very cleanly. AGL had themselves a good spot in the circle, and
now they don't?
away from them, and now I thought that they had inside tracked position. I don't know what happened there. I was busy watching the fire.
Yeah, we missed that one. Gen.G, here's that battle with Na'Vi. They're pulling back a little bit. Both teams losing a player in the fray so far. Bean going to be driving away there with Tosi is going to be the one who died for Gen.G as some shots bringing out from Na'Vi. As Gen.G does make their escape, they have a little bit of stability now, kind of set up on the side of the road. A little bit of a compound for themselves.
Well, they also have the gatekeep position on what's going on with this 2-1 VP weirdness that's happening over here. Rock is also going to be rotating along that pathing, so Gen.G trying to now make sure that Na'Vi doesn't have too much space to play with. We've got just kind of a scattering of teams around. It does look like Fluky did manage to at least get one of the blue chips, maybe more, and has now headed up to Tierra Bronca, so should be bringing some more friends back in. 17 is going to be a tail end of this. Rock, I don't know if this is the neighborhood you want to go into because it has been nasty over here.
Well, and VP got the res on the Nixie. He was knocked over in the industrial park of Impala, and now that's offered them stability here to set up this trap. Oh, Rock, you're in trouble.
Runs right through, doesn't get the knock just quite yet, but it's going to be a follow-up. Lucarup's Nixie also do find that one very, very easy. Fantastico still alive, running for the hillside, but that is a big cost to Rock.
This is all just a consequence of all that fighting around here. The fact that VP comes out with 4 alive still and 5 kills, absolutely massive for them. They're 2 points away from Rock, and they just did them dirty. They got 2 players off of them. Oh, this could be VP ending the day on top. Who knows?
This is going to get dirty really, really quick. Twisted's also in a strong spot. Everybody that's in contention looking for something on it. GSW, the only team that was really playing along this coastern area at the start of it, so they have themselves a pretty decent amount of space to work around for the time being. You can see it all messed down there to south. Extends is kind of caught out. Can't do too much and regroup with the rest of his friends yet, but VP is just going to go ahead, find their pathing, and the circle should be just fine. Toyo going to have some friends with 17 up there, so going to have to be pretty cautious. Might have some vengeance and some words after that last game. The circle does pop. Freaks and TE feeling good about it.
There's probably going to be some some fights around Gen.G and GSW. GSW in control of the church right now along the road. Gen.G going to have a little bit of access to the circle thanks to Bean, but they're likely going to have to play a little bit of defense. And it might be better to just wait it out in that compound as long as possible. It's just on the edge of the circle. Not sure if any of it is in this next one or not. Toyo and some others coming through with some reses. Going to have to assume that's T5 in that helicopter as well. VP setting up for the emergency pickup, try to find a way into this next circle. We can see on the map that there's actually some compounds on the eastern edge that are open. Those are a little tricky, but at least it's something.
If you need loot, I guess T5 might set their eyes on that. I think that they've got a couple of compounds that they're playing. Extends, you can see, and now very extended away from his team. He's going to go down. T1 finding more points as we're still in the thick of all of this. I mean, 45 up on the top of it, but one good game going all the way down to really what? Toyo in 9th can shift you around. We're starting to see a lot of these teams take casualties early. Na'Vi, T1, Rock, all in some trouble right now where it feels like momentum is leaning into VP. Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted here, full control over the southwest edge. They've got a pretty decent split, 2-on-1, as they often like to do. VP actually mostly driving just Nixie in the plane right now, just doing a little bit of scouting for them from the air. And that's going to be a little bit dicey for them. They're getting shot on the way into the circle. 17 making another wide wrap. Like, yeah, here you go.
It's like, oh, I don't like this. They're trapped out in the blue. Rock actually wrapped back down next to him, so that's why you saw he was leaned in, probably looking at the map being like, please, please, Rock, just go on your merry way, go into the zone, don't look around too much more.
T5 got all of their players back up in that saloon compound that's to the northeast of El Azahar, so they're ready to rock and roll as 17 now going to be making their entrance. There's still some firefights going through, but every time VP tries to go for some peaks, they're kind of getting shot at from some different angles. Maybe DNF or the Expendables potentially getting a few shots in here and there, but you can see Beamy's position actually safe from their angles, but they don't like this fight. They're going to peel off and just play for safety.
Lay of the land right now is most of the teams are avoiding the very far east of this because it's just going to be open fields. Just Na'Vi, we saw them kind of rolling around the hillsides a while ago. They're going to go for that compound that you were talking about earlier, so that's going to find them some space. Up into the north, we can see right now it's going to be Toyo 17, T5 trying to regroup, get their loot back underneath of them, and T5. Falcons does look like they're leaning a bit more north. They've got a 2-2 split that looks like it's kind of brewing over here. South is going to be its own hillside. So really just look what's going to be happening. The roads are going to be the different bisecting parts of this. So we've got the center of it that's going to be TE, Freaks, as well as VP. Up into the north, the potential firefights of that. And oh, the circle shifts right into Freaks and TE's favor.
Well, this may be the game for the Freaks.
VP's going to be next to him.
Yeah, that's true. That's not comfortable, but they need a big one. As Gen.G starting to win a few fights here and there. That's another kill for them.
The circle.
No. Raining's still out by truck stop. I mean, that's just cooked. They were trying to fight Rock. That's the funny thing is they saw Rock coming in while they were still stuck in the blue, and they were like, well, I guess we have to fight this. And then Santastico's like, nah, I'm going to go try to salvage something, but he's going to be driving towards El Azahar, towards the Falcons direction. Going to be tough for him. Raining, yes, alive, A-OK. Toyo making a move up on the north as they're trying to cut underneath T5 sightlines. T5 did get a player here knocked. It's Padampong. Xiao Wu going to be the one to connect.
Toyo, I don't know if there's going to be any easy pathing into this. Whenever we look over into the east, it's pretty open over there. They've opted into going right into Navi's position. They're just coming in full-on gusto. Oh, it's so sad. Stops it. Look at Na'Vi. Says, nah, man, that's not going to work here.
Woo! 2 players, no problem.
Oh, that was dirty.
Na'Vi. Gotta love it when you have the Panzer there for the crash. You can just take the car out of the equation before it even unloads the players. Crazy stuff for them.
What is going on?
This is madness.
This has been so back and forth for so long. All right, RBN. They know that they're in a salvage position. RBN stayed back over here. Santastico is like forever away from him, up closer to the Falcons right now, and he's going to be sneaking in. Falcons do spot out change the game, take them out. That's going to give them some high ground and a good position to play for the time being. Freaks have spotted out a rotating 17, so that's why 17 is going to be hunkered down in the spot. Can't make too big of a move. Guess what? There's going to be a new approach on that angle, Falcons, so keep looking that direction because T5 is going to be right back behind them.
I think the only thing for the Falcons now that they probably don't realize is that Santastico has crept up behind them. But that was huge to win that fight against CTG. Now they have the hillside actually available above them to go up to. Usually it's pretty hard to get out of this position on the map because you're really pinned in by the mountainsides themselves. It's tough to climb them. Santastico looking for an opportunity, checking behind him. It just depends if he's going to be able to get there in time to punish the Falcons.
This is, again, great macro. Understanding the circle, this is going to be one of the easier ways to sneak in because with all of these like oil derricks that are going to be over here, you can you've got a lot more pathing options to deal with than just trying to push through the hillside. You're going to have to assume that there's probably a team over here. So as long as you play it slow, steady, wait to hear where the firefights, where the shots are going to control the territory, you can really sneak in. I don't really see the Falcons controlling this area or these angles too much, but they have to make the assumption for it in a second. Here comes the distraction that Santastico might like, though, as it's going to be T5, rolls down the hillside. Tickleton shuts down Rosted. Remember, this is a very weakened T5, as they've already been rezzed once, and there's not a lot to work with. So they just cut a path, and they're going to get right up next to the Freaks, but they can stop off because there is going to be a hill that denies that, but not from 17's angle.
Yeah, they're trying to use the cars to block off the angles as best as they can, but 17 still doing some damage. And here comes Guman. He finds a big grenade right on top of him. DL follows up. Bye-bye, T5.
Oh, Freaks, they've got the mortars set. So much going on with the way the circle's popped. It's going to be the Falcons, Santastico, Twisted all having to make moves. Twisted already inside their vehicles. Does look like they're going to be playing more into the Falcon side on this. Gen.G was kind of gatekeeping them down to the south. So Guman not done with explosions yet. Does he have the beat in? Oh, just a bit to the, I guess, a bit north.
Let's see if he can find the follow-up here. He should have a spotter on this. He's going for the big ones.
Oh, 17.
Oh, man. They're trying to use that hillside to cut off the angles of the mortar. Oh, Xiaowu gets splashed for a little bit of damage. The cars are going to suffer, though. So that's going to be painful for 17 to try to make maneuvers. They still have one coupe, but that's it.
Just look at the cars getting popped everywhere right now. 17, though, this dip is still in and is capable of being pushed around. Twisted did get closer to Falcons, so Falcons going to thin their territory. They're holding it down pretty well. Perfectic's going to be already down. Multiple members of Falcons, though, playing different height plays. So that's going to be very difficult to really regroup and hold angles with, but Falcons doing it clean.
Yeah, nice work there by Hwin with the mini. Basically has Twisted Minds dead to rights there.
6 kills.
Yeah, he's feeling it. So are the Falcons, who got up in this hill just in time before Twisted Minds arrived, so they're able to set up a nice defense to keep Twisted Minds pinned on the bad side of the circle. I think Twisted Minds was looking over there for the longest time, didn't see anything, and thought, well, maybe nobody just got up there. Maybe we can do it.
Oh, Gen.G, they're going to roll into the same pathing that Twisted was trying to do, so Twisted having to retreat from that, now going to be able to get spotted out by Gen.G. Actually, no, reverse that. Gen.G, no idea what's going to be going on. Lou opens up, takes some shots into him. Flame down. Example did spot. Orca does manage to get away. Bean still down the hillside. Looks like he's leaning a bit more east, realizing that this might not be the approach that they want to go for. So Falcons now moving up the hillside is going to give some space for Santastico back behind him. Stay alive a little bit longer. Twisted just going to be bold, heavy, running right in as Falcons going to be just nipping on the heels right behind Twisted.
Love this play from the Falcons. They have an opportunity here to collect some points. Both teams have beat each other up. So this is a really stellar decision. Bean finally able to strike from his off-angle position. And oh my goodness, Bean. What a play from him. Couple extra points for Gen.G. They survive a bit longer, and he's not going to be allowed to go too much further, maybe, depending on what the Falcons want to do here. Would love to get into those placement points at the very least, so going to hunker down behind the hill. Falcons looking for him. They know he's out there.
Saw the kill feed, they want more, but they can't get too much out of it. The Expendables keep peppering shots up on top of the hill. Circle has the Freaks right in the middle of it. VP as well. VP eyes on that first place position. They want some more on it. Falcons just want more kills. Sitting at 10. The climb continues.
I just looked at Tiggleton and he just shook his head like, what?
What you doing over here?
Love it. Great stuff from the Falcons, though, man. They're playing so proactive here. They are really doing a great job of controlling their space, getting up on that hillside in time, being aggressive towards those fights. Now they're turning attention towards 17. So you can see GSW trying to make a wide wrap.
This is the same wrap that two other teams have tried to do, and it hasn't gone too well. GSW right next to Bean. Can he get the shots out? No! AZ just drops a tire on his face.
Just took tire in the mouth there. That is unpleasant for Bean, but great for GSW.
Probably more damage with the car than his gun.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong.
Hey, but they've got themselves the Gold Murado.
They do. 17 has to put a folding shield up in the middle of the road just to try to get through. As we're going to take a little bit of a listen in here with Falcons as they try to knock 17 out.
Two of them. I knocked one. One more burning car.
Still two more on the road. I knocked him again.
One more burning car. He's going to reg. Flush him.
Understood. There's one more guy in the middle of the road as well. I flushed one to the road. One more guy in the smoke on blue mark right now.
Behind the burning car, getting res.
Understood.
What's going on, Matt?
I knocked the guy in blue.
Nice, dude.
What's going on, Matt?
Gen.G on green.
Still in the burning truck.
Yep.
They're running down, guys. We should kill these guys. This is our actual play in zone.
Okay.
There's nothing there for you guys other than the kills. They're
in
driving
zone
by
orange.
these smokes.
Okay, I mean, how do we kill them?
You can come to me and I have a good
All
day.
right, well then let's focus that, guys.
Yep.
Can we get your
let me get my
flushes, Stig?
flush. I'm going to get my flush on blue in a second, and then I'm coming. H1, you can leave, actually, if you want.
I'm holding these 17 guys.
Okay.
We can run this line, I think, and peek down these guys.
We just did this. We were in the open, no?
No, we were higher up.
Okay, go to them, H1, I think. They're in on orange. They're not going to move.
They're not in.
Yeah, we go as 4. Fuck the other ones.
There's a nade spam underneath.
They're not in there. They're taking.
Yeah,
They're driving,
H1,
guys.
orange
Let's
mark is
do
in.
it.
We could drop a fucking
Yeah, I'm
nuke.
leaving. I'm coming with them.
Gen.G's getting mortared here as well.
They're crashing the fight. The
Knocked another 17.
Nice.
Listen, H1, come over. Bro, we're in the wide open.
Yeah, we are. I think we can make it down here, though.
We just do it on a time.
I'm down. No, this is fucking
Yeah,
big
it's
in
bad,
the
it's bad,
open.
it's bad, it's bad. Come back, Sherm. Stop.
I mean, what are we doing?
They drove
I mean,
down.
We have to
Unless
do
you wanna
something. We
overpeak
can't
it.
do anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm down to do it.
Who do you guys need me to cover?
I think they left green.
Cover orange if you can. I think we should run it down on fucking Gen.G, honestly.
Can we see this next pop in 10 seconds,
We have
guys?
nothing to play. There's literally nothing.
Wait for the pop. We can get hard.
Wait for the
We're already pushing.
For these flushes.
Bombs running
Guys,
out.
wide open yellow. Wide open yellow.
Comps, do not shoot, Sherm.
Please come, yes.
We open with nades here, okay?
Sure. Slow down.
I'm pulling out my nade.
I'm gone out.
Group me on the mid.
Roger. I'm just going to try to get 17 kills.
Super
guys.
close underneath.
High ground has been strong for a while for Falcons, but now it is time to just join the rest of the mortals in the thick of the firefight. Falcons, the moment that they start going after this, though, tons of teams looking at them. It's going to be the Freaks as well as the Expendables. Any peak that they go for from here is going to get punished. It's just going to be a matter of fighting your way down. H1 still playing back, seeing if they can secure the kills onto 17. The other members trying to brute force their way down next to GSW.
Tough road ahead, though, for the Falcons. Need to prioritize some of these kills inside of this shack if they can. Would love to get a grenade in there, but the double blue zones right on top of GSW is chewing them apart. As soon as they go outside, Shrimzy ready with the mini there. That's actually going to be Tanbu who's going to steal that kill. Now the smokes have to come down, but 13 kills here for the Falcons.
And a plethora more to go if they can get down this hillside. VP, seeing the firefight, realizes that they can step away. They do have a lot of the Doritos down there that they've been using for cover. Expendables have been holding the angle back for a long time. Main gets knocked onto kickstart. That could slow down anything the Falcons is wanting to push through this. A lot of smokes already down this hillside, but you can see multiple members of the Falcons having to contend with too many different teams. That's going to be Salute. It's just a firing range at the Falcons right now.
Oh, that was a headshot with a Dragunov from range by Salute. Poor Shrimzy there, nothing he can do. That's just a nice shot. Tiggleton now going to turn his attention over towards 17 where they were. See if he can maybe squeeze out some more points, but they're already dead. So he's looking into nothing. As, yeah, Falcons are going to go down pretty quickly here, most likely. If one player left, just Tiggleton on the bad side of the circle. GSW going to crumble as well. We're down to our final 4. 4 for the Expendables, 4 for the Freaks, 3 for VP.
This is big, though. Kills-wise, you can see that VP now on top. 47 points, and only more opportunities ahead of them. Behind that, of course, Falcons, who've just been ringing out this lobby, sitting on 14. The Expendables back behind at 7. Big game for them, continuing their climb, now getting into the middle pack position. But the Freaks finally coming alive, finding 6 kills. They've got a great position in the circle to boot.
Yeah, this is their game now. You would think. I mean, who knows with the Expendables in there. Tiggleton will eventually succumb to the blue. But there is opportunity now for the Freaks, for the Expendables, maybe even VP. I mean, one way or another, VP's ended up on top today.
This is a very complex section. We see the circle every once in a while, and it is always really, really cool. So, VP, they've got this dip cresting along the hillside itself. It's very hard to be assaulted just due to how open it is. That's why Corexi's holding down one side. The other members of VP nervous about a southern wrap because TE, while they do have some safety for the time being, they're the odd team out in the circle. They only have just like a lip right on the other side of that road to play, and they don't want to be trapped over there, so they're trying to see where they can go. But remember, they've been in compounds for a while. They did also set up a good defense a little while ago, so they should have some loot to work with. Yeah, you can see they still have some smokes. They still have some frag grenades. It's going to be Freaks. Yes, they have the strong compound to play from, but it's going to be very hard to gather information in the circle.
Exactly.
Because they're up on the pinnacle of everything, and there's so many moving factors in the lower ground.
And this compound's actually in kind of a bit of a bowl.
Yeah,
so it makes it a little tricky in a way. VP actually has access to the eastern side of DNF's compound if they're not careful about it. I've seen teams crumble in DNF's position because the team that's in Virtus.pro's position gets close enough, uses smokes offensively to cut off the vision from those buildings, and then is able to make a good assault, but they might get beat to the punch here as grenade is out for Delwyn. Has another one back there, doesn't connect with the first. Beamy able to sidestep that well enough as VP just trying to wait this out. The Expendables, I mean, crossing this road, normally you would think crossing road pretty tricky. Actually, they have a little bit of access and they pre-fired. Exactly.
Do they go for it, though? It feels like a trap, and you can see they're like, okay, there's cover there. But if they do, they're walking into a potential crossfire. Everybody right now is just trying to get any idea on what's going on. Sure, the Freaks and VP both know that the Expendables are not going to be comfortable in position, but they're not really too comfortable either because they don't know is the other team that they're lined up against on the side of the road jockeying up, getting ready to make their own pounce. Are they getting ready to go for it? See, the Expendables playing it slow. They're going to use that lip for as long as they've got it. Is now we are in phase number 9. Center dot. Yeah, okay, we've got VP and Freaks pretty close to it, but slowly creeping up closer and closer, using those Doritos. They decide that they've just got to do it. Can they find the angles on this? Because they're in a no man's land. There is no cover except for what they have brought.
Clories has a Panzer in the back pocket. The Expendables here could be kings because they're up on a little bit of a hill, and they've done a good job of getting some cover in front of them initially. Delwyn going to use that last frag grenade, try to see if he can get lucky on the VP. Only does a little bit of damage, but here comes the more. Oh, they're just coming up short. VP able to tuck back in, another grenade going through, catches some damage, but no knocks yet.
And it's so hard. That is such a big incline to really time out the nades on. So instead, Delwyn just runs down, but he gets spotted. Big crossfire, 2 different teams instantly drop him out. Vehicles being sent in, I don't trust it. Not with what's going on with C4s right now. Rolls into the middle, and yes, the Freaks manage to drop it right on top of the Expendables.
That's one of the best uses of C4 we've seen. That is absolutely stellar from the Freaks. Well thought out. Now they could take the fight right to VP. They've got control of the hillside. VP's pinned down. Here comes the util.
Beamy on the off angle has to make it happen, but he's lined up against Salute. He goes down. It's going to be Heaven that spots him. Quick flush coming out. Yeah, we've got VP close to the center dot, but they're just getting spotted out everywhere. Salute just boldly pushing back into the side that they were defending from. He goes down, but Human manages to take down Corexi. Freaks ringing in the kills right now. Nixie on top. He's not done yet. He wants more. Leans back around and does manage to put up a ton of damage, but it is going to be the Freaks that take the round.
Oh boy, that got a little dicey at the end for the Freaks. Looked like should be a clean one, but Nixie able to pull a little bit of a switcheroo there, got behind him, got a few extra points for VP. That could be a big difference maker for them in the long run.
But VP is at the top right now. They are feeling it. This is big for them as players, big for their team, and big in the club championship.
Yeah, man, what a day for them. What an absolute, just phenomenal turnaround for them. You know, coming into this event, there were maybe some questions with the new player coming through with Corexi, and they have shown that they are now a force to be reckoned with.
Also, Freaks, good to see you, man. Good to see you. We know